Anthony Smith defeated Shogun RUA in spectacular fashion, dominant fashion. So what's next for him? Alexander Gustafsson. He said if he won this fight, he would be more than willing to step in on short notice to fight Alexander Gustafsson. And this all comes like so quick. I think he was just coming off a loss to Thiago Santos. Then he moved up to light heavyweight, starched and knocked out Rashad Evans in the first round. Then he just starched and knocked out Shogun in the first round. And now he's like challenging the number one guy in the light heavyweight division, potentially in Alexander Gustafsson, if that fight does go through, if they do make that match happen. And if he could actually pull off that fight and win that fight, then he's right in position to fight Daniel Cormier, the champ. So he had a crazy career turnaround. He went from losing in a weight down, getting stopped in a division down, to coming up and winning 2 fights in was even a full month's time, beating 2 former champions, though they may be past their prime, still 2 former champions, 2 definite legends and Hall of Famers. Finished them in the first round back to back in less than a month's time. I think one fight was like a prelim fight. This fight was like the main event. And now he's in position to fight Alexander Gustafsson. And his whole career was where he was a long time, it felt like he was a young journeyman almost. He fought a lot of fights, 40 fights in total or something. But it wasn't even 30 yet. Still not 30. It was young journeyman. He would have a lot of fights, had a lot of losses, had a rough patch early. It's he would lose this fight, lose that fight. And it's was he ever going to peak? Then he came in the UFC and he started to show out a little bit. Got a decent winning streak. Then Thiago Santos stopped him. Then he moved up. And like I said, he beat 2 former UFC light heavyweight champions, 2 definite legends, 2 definite Hall of Famers. Starched them in back to back, I would say, in no more than 2 months' time. He did that like that. And now he's already in position where he could potentially challenge Alexander Gustafsson for maybe even potentially an interim title, or just definitely that next shot against Daniel Cormier. But it is impressive. I think his style is coming along well. He has a good frame. He has some good power. He has some good elbows, good technique. I don't know about his grappling. Especially that's going to come into question when maybe Gustafsson might mix that in there. Cormier would definitely look to test his grappling. And that could definitely be something that question for him. But definitely against Rashad and Shogun, it was really no need for it. He showed good skills there, at least against those 2. But definitely some questions that will need to be answered. And if he does get the fight with Gustafsson, he could definitely answer a lot of questions in that fight. But as far as how I think that fight plays out, I'm not going to go too much into it. I'm definitely going to favor Gustafsson in that fight, just for him being another young fighter, talented fighter. I think we'll have the height advantage. So I think a lot of what Anthony Smith is good at with those elbows and stuff, I don't think they're going to be as effective against somebody taller like Gustafsson, somebody that uses their reach like Gustafsson, somebody as fast as Gustafsson, somebody that uses their footwork as much as Gustafsson. It's going to be harder to land those elbows and land those shots that he's so accustomed to landing. But interesting style matchup, and definitely a very interesting career turnaround for Anthony Smith. We kind of seen these turnarounds with Robbie Lawler, but Robbie Lawler definitely was already a bigger name at one point. It never seemed like he was necessarily a journeyman, but Anthony Smith, definitely a career turnaround. It seemed like at one point he was going to be that fighter that's going to be in the regional circuits his whole life, come in the UFC and blossom into a star at middleweight, then they even blossom into a true threat at light heavyweight. So that's about all I got to say. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.